VGK defeats Montreal 3-2 in a shootout last night to improve to 9-0-1 on the season. The 19 of 20 points recorded is a new record for a Stanley Cup champion. We recap last night's thriller on Thriller Night on today's episode of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Happy Halloween. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. We appreciate you tuning in. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel that is Locked On Golden Knights. We are brought to you today by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. So visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn for the NFL season. So, Chris, come on, man. I was just waxing a little bit of Michael Jackson there for you this morning.
I don't care about Michael Jackson. No, it wasn't a thrilling game. It was a bad game.
Yeah, I know, but don't be bitter beer face. I thought it had picked up there. And that was not me at the game last night with the rigged hat on. I was not at the game.
That was pretty awesome.
The Golden Knights, for a third straight game, forced into overtime, and for the second time in 4 nights, VGK prevails in a shootout. So they are winning games. They're doing it every which way. Shea Theodore was last night's shootout hero. The Golden Knights winning that game 3-2, and in doing so now have 19 of a possible 20 points on the season. And, you know, when I looked at the numbers, this was before the post game happened. I was like, they got off to the good start last year, right, Chris? Last year, the fast start was 8-2 under Bruce Cassidy. This season, opening 9-0-1. Both seasons, at this juncture through the first month of the season, they were plus 15. So last 2 seasons, 17-2-1 and a plus 30 in the month of October. That's a thriller. Now that's a thriller, brother.
That's good stuff right there. So which team felt better to you? This year's team or last year's team at this juncture?
Well, last year I thought was a little bit of a surprise, right? It did feel a little bit better only because I expected a slow start last year, right? Because I'm the pessimist anyway, but I thought that they wouldn't get out of the chute fast.
You and I both.
Yeah. This year I thought they might struggle a little too early. So I don't know. I think last year was more of a surprise, just to be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean, you and I had them for the last 2 seasons, had them in the 4-5, 5-4, 5-3 type of realm for the first, months of the season as things got going. This year, everything would have made sense for a slower start. Favorable schedule kind of helped that. We can certainly acknowledge that to a large degree, but you still got to win the games. And I guess the question you ask yourself is, has the VGK been playing down to the likes of Montreal, Philadelphia, Chicago twice? Or, is the league just that good? And it's probably a little bit of both, I would say. Last night's game is interesting, right? The first period I thought was the perfect first period for the game. You heard Cassidy after the pregame skate at City National saying he didn't want the game turning into a track meet. And basically a track meet isn't necessarily a high-scoring game, but it's teams exchanging rush after rush after rush after rush. And even though the shots finished 39-22, whatever the final number was, Cassidy made sure to take a shot at me in the postgame about that. We'll talk about that in a second here. But he was wrong. That's the thing. I was right. Cassidy was wrong.
That's pretty funny. He was a little grumpy despite the win, just tired maybe.
No,
a lot
fair.
of
it's the
so much
changing.
Travel. It was just so much. I mean,
so much travel.
3 games and 4 days, and the matinee game on Friday. The way the schedule fell, the narrative on state-run television last night was just, come on, man, let it go, guys. Yeah, they're a little bit sluggish. I get it. 3 games in 4 days. These are young cats, man, skating up and down the ice, and I didn't see so much fatigue. Did you? Did you see much fatigue? I just
I
thought it
mean,
was one of those games where they sort of went through the motions, and I think maybe they get bored. Maybe they get a little bit bored out there.
listen, last time they took this ice in games that mattered a lot more, there was a lot more on the line, so that could have something to do with it too. But back to where I was going with this is the game didn't become a track meet as far as the results went, 3-2, right? And even with Montreal out shooting the Vegas Golden Knights, it was actually 30-13, not 30-14. I actually gave the team too much credit based on what the scoreboard showed. It still wasn't like a weird rush situation where the Golden Knights were having a hard time keeping up with the Canadiens. It's almost like the Golden Knights were in some type of a weird shell, and it was very strange to watch. And Mark Stone made the comments that you don't. Here's a schedule comment for you. You got a team traveling across multiple time zones, Montreal, that is. You don't want to give up 40 shots to them. And credit Aiden Hill, even though he had the noodle stick goal for finding a way to stick with it, he laughed it off in the post game as we all expected he would. And I mean, listen, 9-0-1. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday about Montreal's inability to stop teams with their PK. They came in, I thought 25th. It said 20 on a graphic that I saw last night. And Paul Cotter scored the power play goal. And if he would have scored that second goal, that would have been spectacular. There were a lot of posts in last night's game. He hit the crossbar. But was that you that asked if he would post it on his Instagram? That was awesome. That was an awesome question. You asked. Okay, go ahead. Reframe that for us.
Yeah. So the team had, I think Kolasar started, but or maybe it was Eichel, someone. But the team has been given
LT started.
That's right. LT. The team has been giving Cotter some crap, right? After that amazing goal against the Flyers, where he dangled between the legs. Cotter's proud and putting on his Instagram and all of that stuff. So Cotter has a move that was just as good, finding a way to get around a bunch of Canadiens defensemen and rings one right off the post. It was so close. Such a great play. So, of course, I hit him afterwards. I said, hey, you can toss that up on Instagram if you would have scored that. And he laughed it off and said, not after the way the boys razzed me and stuff. And it was a fun, lighthearted moment. But Cotter's game is coming around. The power play goal, he mentioned that's something we work on practice. I thought that was kind of a funny comment because he just fired the puck on net and it deflected.
That's right. It just went in.
But that's okay. I mean, listen, Cassidy did say a few games ago to one of my questions, one of the adjustments that the team made was instead of, trying to shoot high where a pad or a skate gets involved, you shoot for sticks, right? You shoot for sticks. You go for that deflection. It could be off either team. It could be off a Golden Knights player deflecting. I actually thought Barbashev was going to get credit for that goal, but I think it hit the Canadiens defenseman stick and deflected in. So to a sense, Cotter was correct, but I think he gave the system a little too much credit in that moment there. But, good to see Cotter turning it up right now. And the third line, Carlson, Dorfey, of Amadio, when they were together, things were going well. I say going together, Amadio just got buried last night and no wrongdoing of his own. He only got 11 shifts, 8:31 of ice time. And it wasn't that he was getting his shifts limited or anything. It was just simply all the special team situations happening because Golden Knights had, I think it was 4 penalties, four kills, right? So that's 16 minutes right there. And you got the shuffling that happens before that. So Amadio just found himself on the outside looking in last night. But I thought his game was great. He almost had a Paul Cotter goal where he took it between 3 players on the way in from the blue line and almost got there.
Aiden Hill, let's talk some about him. We have not focused so much on goaltenders this season because they've just had,
it's good.
Yeah, they've had these pedestrian-like outings each and every night where maybe you take them for granted. It was the night that VGK again didn't have a spark offensively, and Aiden Hill really did bail them out. He did get lucky. There were a few Montreal posts, a lot of posts last night. Marc-Andre Fleury would have been making out with the post last night because there were so many.
Aiden Hill gave it some love too, though.
Yeah, he sure did, including that one, the new hook shot on the shootout that hit the crossbar.
I thought there was 2 off the post that were goals. I was waiting for him to immediately buzz down and review the shootout goal because that looked pretty close from where I was. And then there was one more. It was right before that. I think it was the one where they actually showed Aiden Hill tapping the post. I thought that was in. I mean, obviously, I'm sitting 100 feet up in the sky, but my immediate reaction is that hit the post that kind of goes behind the nets, and I was waiting for just when that happens. It's kind of weird because the horn actually signals and stops play, and when that happens, then yeah.
What a way to give up that streak of not allowing a shorthanded goal on the season. And that was Legaff 2. That was Legaff 2. I
It
mean,
happens. It happens.
it does happen. I know.
Oh, did you catch the Bronx cheer though? Did you catch the
that?
cheer? The crowd was giving him crap. Did you catch that on TV?
No.
Or no? Oh, this was great. So
whatever crowd was there. Whoa.
There was a lot of empty seats. I thought the announced attendance of 17,700 was generous last night. But to be fair, F1 Monday night, how weird weekend and all that. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of people just no showed the game too. To be fair, but no, right after Aiden Hill makes the save, I think the Golden Knights were on the power play still. Actually, might have been the same one. And same thing, Aiden Hill comes out to play the puck, and you hear the crowd like literally. There's this weird anticipation and buildup. He successfully plays the puck, and the crowd went nuts. The crowd went nuts. Man. So what does Aiden Hill do? He waves to the fans. He waved.
I didn't see that.
I can't believe awesome. TV didn't catch that. It was such a funny.
No. Did you see all of the technical issues that the fans had? I'm surprised that they were even able to take a look at this at anything. Watch the game last night. They probably missed Legaff. What that Nighttime Plus app. Oh my goodness, the comments that on the thread. If you have a moment, man, today on our Locked On VGK Twitter handle, a lot of issues, a ton of issues with that app. They got to get that fixed, man.
See, I knock on wood. For all the road games I've used, unless it was a national, which I don't think they've had any national road games. So for all the road games, I watched them pretty closely beginning to end, and I've had a remarkable experience every time. Just maybe good luck on my part, obviously. And I don't know if this.
Did you get the media pass, bro?
Where? I'm not wearing it
for the nighttime. Go ahead for the nighttime.
No. If there was one, then I'm out $70, but whatever that. I mean, I'm lucky, I guess. I don't know what to say, but back to the game. I mean, weird. Steve Marsh said it probably 12 times next to me. Just a weird game. Goblins in the air. Weird things happening. He had a lot of noodle sticks last night. It wasn't just Shea Theodore. I joked. I said they need to get that blue pill for some of the Golden Knights sticks because they're a little noodly out there.
Noodly, and there's a lot of twigs on the ice. There's a lot of twigs. Coming up next, we'll talk about VGK hanging around in games with the opportunity to steal some points and to win games. We'll talk about that when we return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place just a $5 bet. But don't bet on the Raiders because I don't think they will pay out anyway, either way. Okay, that's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better way to get into the action than to do it right now. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including the point spreads, player props, and totals, over-unders on games, and much, much more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off this NFL season. FanDuel, the official partner of the National Football League. Welcome back. Locked On Golden Knights. Happy Halloween. Tony Kurt. What in the world? Oh, my goodness. This guy.
Caters. That's not bad.
This effing guy right here.
Maybe I'll do this for the second segment.
Thanks.
Okay, second segment.
All right. Thanks for making. I can't look at you. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. We appreciate you tuning in, of course, wherever you get your podcast. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel that is Locked On Golden Knights. You've got all sorts of stuff there. Favorite Halloween candy?
There you go. Tony's wearing his cat ears too.
Favorite Halloween candy?
Not candy corn.
No. Did you see that on the Fremont Street Experience last night? My stomach was churning. They put it up on that vision thing over the whatever they call it.
Oh, okay. I followed.
Fremont Street Experience. Yeah, they put up candy corn, and I went to sleep going, "Oh, my stomach." And I didn't even have any candy corn. Smarties. Smarties #1 for me. Ding.
Smarties are fun. I like Smarties. I mean, For me, I think I just go to more of a memory than a specific candy. And one of my neighbors across the street every year gave out full taffy apples. So that was the place to go. You go there in the start and you go there at the end. So you get a couple of them. And so I think I just go with that just because of the memory growing up being on the spot. Otherwise, I don't know, anything like chocolate you don't have, like 100 grand or like the crackle bars and stuff, like stuff you don't eat on a normal basis when you go to the gas station. So anything kind of weird and chocolatey like that, I guess.
Please be careful out there. Obviously, to all of our trick or treaters. Okay, so Mark Stone last night post game talking about the fact, first of all, that VGK's done a really good job in the extra periods to get points. And then he said something that really kind of resonated with all of us. He said that we give ourselves a chance to win games, and that we hang around. We hang around late. This sounds like an underdog mentality, really, right? In that you're hanging around to get points. So many times we see that with, against a favored team, I think personally. And now they have 2 days off to work on their execution. He said they're just a little bit off with their executional points. What did you think of his remarks?
Um, with 2 days of practice, I think they're going to beat the Jets about 12-2 on Thursday night because they're going to have some time to get right. And the Jets have just been giving the puck away left and right. If you look at their kind of like advanced stats and stuff like that. I thought his comments were interesting. So it was a real good assessment from the first month from the captain. It was the team is grounded right now. Like, how many other teams in the National Hockey League would a locker room or a post-game press conference feel like a loss when the team is 9-0-1? I mean, every question from the media last night, for the most part, was a little bit towards the negative side, starting with my question. And if you guys did happen to catch that on Twitter or listen to it live, Cassidy got a little weird with me. I think he misunderstood. Maybe I didn't frame it right. So the question from me to Cassidy was, after the first period, the Golden Knights were outshot 30-14. And he cut me off after that. He's like, no, I don't think that's right. And then I started to kind of explain it. And then I realized it's not a good time to explain it. So I just said, okay, the team was massively outshot. Why? That was the long and short of it. But he was a little grumpy before that, right? And all the questions were kind of like the vibe of today's show right now. Like, things are just a little bit off. Things are a little strange right now.
On our show?
No. We're
We're
on the ball
every day.
right now, even though people are going to give us crap for not, firing off confetti bombs and confetti cans because the team is doing well right now. But back to Stone's comments, like you said, just a little bit off right now. The timing isn't quite there. Mark Stone even said he was in a slump. He's like, we got a few guys slumping like myself. He's got 7 points in 10 games now, and including a very important power play goal against the Kings the other night. So I wouldn't classify Stone as being in a slump right now. Like you said, the team is comfortable being down. They haven't faced a 3-goal deficit yet this year. I think that is certainly something important. And then he kept going back to the record. He's like, well, we're 9-0-1, so it's not like we're really off or there'd be this high level of concern. We're just a little off right now. So, I mean, if we're going to talk about a car type, analogy here, or something I might write about in a little bit for Vegas Hockey Now, but the Golden Knights are in third gear right now, right? There's more gears to go. The only question I have is, what kind of car are they driving? Are they driving like a fuel efficient electric vehicle that struggles to gain momentum uphill when they get to 4th and 5th speed? Or, are they driving like an old, super sport or something like that that's got a big gas guzzling V8 engine, and then when you drop the hammer on that thing, it just takes off and goes? Like, I think that's the big question right now that everyone has about this team. And I think if you look at historical data or that big Stanley Cup banner that hangs in T-Mobile, I'll lean towards the latter here. And they're that old super sport that's gonna, once you get that thing in the 4th, 5th gear, I don't know if you even have that many gears, but I'm just throwing numbers out there. Point being is, I think the Golden Knights got some more gears, and it's going to be an interesting season. It's going to be, I think things are going to be okay when the dust settles.
Cassidy was really prepared. I think the tanning beds were all taken yesterday during the day because he was extra salty. You should have, the entire game on the bench, he was fired up. He was
second
ripping
period,
one of the
he
refs.
was, I either texted you or put on Twitter, he was going up and back the bench. He was he was pissed.
Yeah, and so man, he would have been that would have been really good if they lost. I mean, really wanted to hear what his comments would have been had they lost last night, because he was ready to just go off.
He might have thrown a water bottle at me.
He might have. Jack Eichel last night, the penalty shot, stopped by Sam Montembeault, and it was kind of funny. Is this a backhanded sort of way for Cassidy to express something? He said that none of the stars are scoring goals and they're still winning games. He's like, look, Cotter and Carrier. He called him Carrier again. Drives me nuts. Cotter and Carrier scored goals. He hey, our stars aren't scoring and we're still winning games. That was his point that he was making.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a fair thing to say, but this also goes back to the strength of the team's third and fourth lines. And sure, the top two lines aren't putting the puck in the net as much as of late. And the top line, even though they've had some, this is strange. The top line, Barbashev, Marchessault, and Eichel, the Barbashev line, there you go. They had some really good rankings on Money Puck as far as being one of the best lines early on. But you look at the stats of that line, and it hasn't been the best. It hasn't even the best line on the team, in my opinion. I mean, I know you're going to shake your head, but any William Karlsson line has really been the best line of the team for the entire season based on his stats and the stats of the players around him right now. So is Cassidy taking a shot at the top two lines? I don't know. I mean, you got to give some credit to the top two lines because they are wearing down the other team's top defensive units. And it just so happens the Golden Knights do have a couple really good lower lines that can either win, they can beat you with speed, skill, or they can grind you down, kind of like what the fourth line of now Howden, Colasar, and Carrier, there you go, Tony, are doing.
The Howden line. The Howden line,
there we go. So Howden took a bad penalty. You cannot take a cross-checking penalty in the other team's goalie crease. That was not good in the game last night.
Also last night, and I don't know if you noticed this much, but Cassidy did, in fact, shuffle lines, especially in the second period. Yeah, he had Stone with Dorofeyev, I think, and Stevenson at one point. Karlsson and Cotter were back together because, on the power play, we saw that goal off the assist from Karlsson. But they did have some mixing up of the lines last night. And again, I think it was a very frustrating night for Cassidy because he wasn't particularly, what do they have? 2 shots on goal, he said, and 1 went in.
2 shots on goal in the second period. Yeah.
Yeah. And they
careful
scored
trusting
a goal.
Cassidy's counts of the shots.
Yeah, I don't know about his counts. We need a recount. Coming up next, Great October, or was it? We'll talk about that when we return right here on this Halloween edition. Those cat ears are just driving me nuts. We return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. A new NHL season brings all sorts of possibilities. Jack Eichel could score 50 goals. That's right. VGK could hoist the Stanley Cup and repeat. And you could win big by playing daily fantasy hockey on Sleeper, the official daily fantasy app of the Locked On NHL Network. Sleeper is our #1 choice on daily fantasy sports and especially daily fantasy hockey, because with Sleeper, you could win 100 times your cash in daily fantasy hockey contests. That's right. And fans can also play daily fantasy NFL, NBA, MLB, and college football on Sleeper. It's all right there. All you have to do is pick weather studs like McKinnon, Jack Hughes, who still leads the NHL. I think it was 17 and counting. Larkin and DeBrincat. I threw those guys in there. Those cats, if you will, with those cat ears. Yeah. DeBrincat will record more or less than their Sleeper projections for things like goals, assists, saves. I like plus minus and any other given points in a game. To win 100 times your bet on Sleeper, you need to correctly predict the outcome of 8 player stats. You heard that right, VGK fans. You can win 100 times your money playing daily fantasy hockey with Sleeper. So start paying attention and nail your picks so you can start winning big. You use a promo code LOCKEDONNHL, like you see on the screen. That's LOCKEDONNHL, and you will get up to $100 match play on your very first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. That's LOCKEDONNHL. See Sleeper's terms for more details. Welcome back. Locked On Golden Knights, this Halloween edition. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. My goodness, what is that? Oh my goodness, look at this guy. Of course, don't forget on Friday, What the Friday WTF, and I'm sure this will be a major topic on Friday's show, this Halloween get.
Or are you a grumpy podcaster today for Halloween?
I'm I need one of those rigged hats though. That was just phenomenal. Going to break, I had to grab a screenshot. I was losing my mind. I'm like, I need that hat. But again, the fans are catching on that everything about VGK is rigged. I mean, the schedule's rigged. The price is there at T-Mobile. Everything's rigged.
That's
Halloween is rigged. Halloween is rigged.
Is rigged.
So, the Great Pumpkin, Golick. So, October, was this a banner month or not? It was a banner raising month, but was it a banner month or not for VGK?
Listen, we'll start with Cassidy's comment. I gotta make sure I'm centered here. We'll start with Cassidy's comment, right? Cassidy says it's a results-orientated business. So if the result is the only thing that matters, then sure, it was a great month, right? 9-0-1 off of the Stanley Cup victory. Like, you look at that record, fans should be, going up and down Las Vegas. Well, not to say Las Vegas Boulevard because it's a mess, but maybe a Tropicana or something like that and partying the way things are going. You could not have asked for a better start. But as far as the concern goes, we talked about this a little bit, I believe, on yesterday's show. There's a lot of things that are off right now. A lot of things that are off. I'll try to get through this answer, then this is coming off, by the way. But there's a lot of things that are off right now. And don't just listen to me and Tony sounding like Halloween grumps about this. Listen to Mark Stone. Like, watch Mark Stone's press conference. Go on X, Twitter, whatever we call it these days, and go to the Vegas Golden Knights. Watch what Mark Stone said. That does not sound like a team that's 9-0-1. And then watch Bruce Cassidy's press conference. That does not sound like a team that is 9-0-1. But the team is 9-0-1. Like, this is what's good right now. And kind of what we said a second ago, the Golden Knights are going to get better, right? The Golden Knights are going to get a lot better. And they're beating teams while they're in second and third gear, where Montreal last night, that's peak performance, right? That's, they just had a tune-up, an oil change, a full tank of premium gas, and off they go. Where the Golden Knights are, not necessarily in the same form at the moment. So I think everything's going to be fine as long as they figure it out. A couple practices in a row are really going to help, and I think Winnipeg should, and maybe it's not going to be, but it should be the team's best effort of the early season as the calendar.
Are we going to see the backup goalie? The backup goalie?
Who's the backup goalie?
Isn't that Brossois?
Oh, Brossois. I thought you meant for the Golden Knights side. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the rotation is right now. I don't know if they play a back-to-back before they come to T-Mobile Arena. So we'll see.
Okay, so last night, Montreal, 90 shots, according to Cassidy, but his counts were not good last night. 90 shots and 3 high danger shots last night, he said.
Well, 90 attempts. No, the Kings had 90 attempts. That's what it was. Kings
is that who he was talking about?
He said the Kings had 90 attempts.
So
and that was in my answer. That was in my question.
You've heard of Witch's Brew. We've got Golick's Brew. Are you predicting? Last year you did this really well because you could see it coming. No, see, I'm going to give you credit. Remember when you said last year in October-ish, folks, there's going to be a losing streak coming up. I'm telling you, this team is not playing the right way. They're winning games, but you know what? I can feel something happening here, something brewing, if you will, for VGK. I mean, and that they might lose some games. And you did. You called it last year. I'll give you credit for what.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I said a losing streak was coming, but I definitely said there was concern, and I was putting it out
there. You saw some slippage coming, man. You saw it.
Yeah, there was slippage. No doubt there was slippage coming. I think the difference being from a year-over-year perspective is the team is aware of it right now. Like, I feel like if this was last year, the press conference would have been a lot more positive. They would have been bringing up, Mark Stone saying he's in a slump when he has 7 points in 10 games. At the time, 7 points, 9 games, I guess, is when he said he was having a slump. So the team is aware, right? The team is aware. This is where it's good, where you have a bunch of veterans on the roster and not a lot of youth. I mean, there's youth, but not a lot of it. And the youth is going to listen to Pietrangelo and Martinez and Stone and even old man Eichel now, all 27 years old that he is, right? Or 28, whatever it is. So they're figuring it out, right? And they're figuring it out while they are having a nearly immaculate month. So I think the slippage is already happening. And once the team gets a couple of practices, just to I'm actually surprised they're practicing today after the road trip and everything. I thought for sure they would take today off, but they're practicing today. They're practicing tomorrow, Wednesday, and they're doing a pregame skate Thursday before the game. So, the team's heads are they're in the right place right now. They're in the right mentality. They're working hard, and they know what it takes to give themselves a shot to repeat as Stanley Cup champions.
Okay, I want to talk 2 words, obviously, get our fans triggered from me, rigged and pickleball. So we need some ratings. So I just threw
DJ
that
Pickle we had DJ Pickle, but in the second intermission yesterday.
I saw that.
Who is DJ Pickle? It's not. I know it's not Braden Pahal. I don't know. Is that is he a famous guy? I don't know.
I think it was Braden Pahal because he wasn't playing, right? But he has to earn his way back on the cup if they win.
I mean, does he get more of his NHL salary when that? I don't know. Whatever. Go ahead.
I don't know. Okay, so what is up with Chandler Stevenson? Is this a slump du jour? He has 8 points.
Is 8 points in 10 games? How's that a slump?
In 10 games, 2 goals. I know, but he's gone 7 games without a goal.
I'm gonna agree with you. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, 7 games without a goal.
It's not the goals that matter as much to me. What matters is how the second line is playing. How much ozone time are they getting? How much pressure are they getting? And at one time, I looked at Carp and Marsh next to me, and I'm like, "Hey, we're Stevenson." Like, well, what's up? Team kind of quiet, right? And the power, but he makes that great pass to Will Carrier to set up, what was an important goal in the game. So that's the other thing.
That goal happened in slow motion, the delayed penalty.
I don't care. It happened.
Okay, the delayed penalty. I'm still trying to figure out, was it on Slavaski or whoever?
Whoever crashed the goalie. Whoever crashed the goalie.
But he got pushed into him. But then everything materialized in slow motion, and okay, good for VGK. Carrier wound up scoring that goal, but. Yeah, I mean, is it or is it not a great October at the end of the day?
It's a great October.
Okay.
There's no way, shape, or form as much as I like to play the heel sometimes, there's no way, shape, or form I can ever say a team that
pickleball. You can never say pickleball.
Pickleball that leaves 1 point on the table didn't have a great month. There's no way I can argue that.
Are you going out?
I can be concerned for November.
All right. Are you on the streets there? Are you trick-or-treating today with the kiddos?
Oh God, yeah. We go out in the neighborhood. All 4 of us go out, and we kind of got a little route that we do. We walk up the street. There's a really good section of houses that these guys they put on the electrical bill type party with all the stuff that they put out and all that. And there's one house that hands out some adult beverages about halfway through the route. So you bet your butt I'll find that house and ham it up with those guys and grab a little something, and there we go.
All right. Well, have fun. Be safe. And we'll look forward to seeing the family album. And tomorrow, of course, we'll be talking about what happens today because VGK is having a skate, and we'll make up some other topics as well. Don't forget, on Fridays, it's WTF What the Friday. From a man, Chris Golick, the Catmandu, I'm Tony Cardasco. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights.